Hello, welcome to Endurance Productions Movie Reviews. Good to be back with you folks. Gonna dive right in, do a little movie reviewage today, get my feet wet, get back used to the movie review scene. Folks, just to give you a little quick update, I am currently watching the new Friday the 13th Deluxe Editions Parts 4, 5, and 6. There will be a review tailored in the same fashion as my first batch of the Friday the 13th Parts 1, 2, and 3 that came out just a few months ago. So be on the watch out for those guys, they're coming soon. But for today, I'm going to do a little quick review here. I talked about this movie in an update video that I did last Halloween, but I don't really feel like I gave it its justice because I'd only first seen it then, sad to report. I don't know why I missed this one along the way during my childhood and teenage years, but I watched it for the first time this past Halloween season, and I finally got around to getting the special edition DVD. So I wanted to do a little quick movie review, not so much on the story of the movie, but mainly on the DVD and its features. The movie is none other than the Canadian horror classic 1974 Black Christmas. Gotta say folks, I'm really happy with this purchase. Found it on half.com for $5 and some change. Don't feel like I wasted my money at all. It's chock full of good extras on it. If you've never seen Black Christmas, folks, it's kind of like the quintessential killer without a face type movie, where a lot of the later films like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and many more took their cues from this movie right here that was about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ahead of some of those movies. What's really neat about Black Christmas is, even though it's basically at its core a slasher flick, it doesn't overexpose the gore in the movie. It leaves a lot of it's more atmospheric, like the original Halloween by John Carpenter. It gives you more of a sense of realistic atmosphere. It just feels creepy. That's the best way I can explain it, folks. It centers around a sorority house, and of course, by way of the title, it's around the Christmas season. And there is a killer stalking the sorority house that is hiding out up in the attic, and they don't have any idea that where he's at. They just keep getting these creepy phone calls with all these mixed sounds of pigs making noises and women's voices, men's voices, and apparently it's all coming from one person, but he's disguising his voice because he's some sort of just a basic mental case. Good run-of-the-mill psycho, basically. That's the only way I can explain it, folks. Let me digress and just say one little point here. This movie is directed by Bob Clark, whom you'll know from Christmas. Oddly enough, he directed some comedies in the early 80s. He directed I believe the first two Porky's movies. He also directed the Christmas classic, A Christmas Story, about the young kid wanting the BB gun for Christmas, and he'll shoot your eye out and all that stuff. Bob Clark's been around for a long time. This is really terrible, but I'm not sure if he's still with us. I don't know if he's passed on. But Bob Clark, this was one of his first movies, and I gotta tell you, this guy, he can stretch his abilities very well. So if you ever want to see what I'm talking about, go rent like the movie Porky's or A Christmas Story, and then Black Christmas for comparison. You'll see that this guy has a really great range as a director. Well, the normal slasher routines ensue. People get picked off one by one. It's just got a great story. I mean, it's got a great cast to it, folks. It's got a cast that includes Margot Kidder, Keir Dullea, I believe is how you say his name, and of course, give props where they are due to John Saxon. What is it about John Saxon, folks? You put this man in any movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, which is another horror movie of mine that I like. You put him in Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. I mean, you put this guy in any movie, he's just an awesome actor. I like him in just about anything I've ever seen him in. I don't know. Sorry, there's a little cut for John Saxon there. It's kind of weird. But anyway, getting back to the point here, folks, I'm going to do a little rundown on the special edition DVD that I've purchased recently. It's getting a little bit harder to find. I think a lot of scuttlebuzz I've been hearing around the internet that it's going to go out of print soon. So if you don't have a copy of it, there's a lot of cheap copies on half.com, and I have seen them at local Best Buy stores on the marked down rack. I think they're like $9 or $10 now. This particular version, folks, of course, has been digitally remastered, has a great picture to it, has great sound. It's got a 5:1 surround sound. I actually have the surround sound now hooked up here at the new home, and I gotta tell you folks, it's been a great experience. I never realized how much I missed it till I hooked it up here. This particular DVD version is a double layer disc. It's not a double disc set, but it is chock full of special features. They've jammed this poor disc full of over 2 hours worth of bonus features. Of course, the digitally remastered anamorphic widescreen video, newly created 5:1 surround sound audio. And let me digress for a second. This audio is new, but it isn't changed. Don't get the wrong idea. I know there was Return of the Living Dead had some problems with that, and a couple other movies where they've just literally changed the soundtrack and they've done a new soundtrack. This one is the same soundtrack, but it just sounds all the more better, folks. There's 2 original scenes with new vocal soundtrack that were recently uncovered. They're in like a deleted scene format on the disc. The behind the scenes features are very, very good on this disc, folks. It's entitled The 12 Days of Black Christmas. It's all new documentary featuring the current interviews with Art Hindle, Doug McGrath, and Lynn McGriffin, among others. It's got lots of interviews from Margot Kidder, John Saxon, all the people that starred in the movie, and it goes on and on. I mean, they give you a lot of insight, a lot of background. It's really cool. They've got a midnight screening Q&A session with the director Bob Clark, John Saxon. It was pretty good. I mean, it was just like it was thrown in there, kind of like throwing in the kitchen sink at the end. It was pretty good. Great menu set up on it. Couldn't be happier. $5 and some change. Black Christmas Special Edition DVD. Get it before it's gone, folks. Or if you want to, wait till it comes out again, but I don't recommend it. Get it and enjoy it now. This is what slashers built. This is the mold for a lot of the slashers that came along later. Well, in closing, folks, for Black Christmas, on a scale from 1 to 5, I give it a solid 4. If you're a horror buff like me, you need to have it in your collection, any type of bare bones, or at least try to get the special edition if you can. This thing's really got it where it counts. Solid 4 out of 5, folks. Really enjoy it. It's a good creepy one. You don't really have to watch it all the time. It's not a series movie like Friday the 13th or anything, but it's a standalone, great 70s slasher flick that never gets old, to me anyway. And it needs to be in your collection. If you're not really much of a horror buff, go out and rent it on date night or something whenever you want to have a good scare. For an older movie, it really stands up the test of time. This has been B. West Jr. from Endurance Productions, coming at you with some movie reviews. Take care, folks, and we'll see you next time.